I was gone for quite some time, but honestly, guys, I was just sowing some seeds. So let me show you what I've been doing. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Rikki Lee here, and for today's video we're doing a fun weekend in my life. Today's Friday. I just got off. It's 2:48 p.m. I just got myself together. I'm going to happy hour. I'm going to 2 happy hours actually today. The first one's my friend Stephanie and the second one is with my friend Dynasty. We're actually going to be finalizing our paperwork for our LLC today. I'm a business owner. For those of you who are new here on my channel, I showcase how I balance both my work, my fun, my faith, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you guys are interested in content like that, make sure to subscribe. But welcome to a crazy busy, fun weekend in my life after the 9 to 5 during the week, because y'all see all my vlogs like that, but let's have fun. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
This is Di. Do you want to be called Di or Dynasty?
I like Di.
Okay, this is Di.
I say Di. Hi,
This is the co-founder of something that's coming real soon. I wish I had a glass of champagne too, but
I mean, we'll just cheers. Whatever.
cheers to that.
Cheers to LLC Day.
It's a big day for us right now. So excited. Cheers to new beginnings at Salt and Lights. Shot o'clock. A shot o'clock. A shot o'clock. Cheers to us. New beginnings.
New beginnings.
Filing for that LLC.
Oh, there we go. Run here.
Cheers. We did it. Let me get my line ready.
All right.
So cute.
Getting my LLC honestly was such a liberating experience. I have been a business owner, or really a hustler, since I was like 14 years old. Taking that very pivotal step to make this idea not just an idea anymore, but really something that's concrete, that's down on paper, and also to be going in business with someone else was just so exciting for me. And you have no idea how bright the future is for myself because I decided to step out on faith. I went to church and we were listening to a sermon. I'm like, I really want to create a creative consultancy after working at a creative consultancy the previous summer. And God was just putting it on my heart that I needed something a little bit different from the Rikki agency to do that. That is how Salt and Light was birthed, honestly. And it felt like he spoke directly to me. When Pastor Greg Ford mentioned that we are called to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world, it was just like, that's it. And so I went home and I sat with it, and I went on Canva and I started playing around with different text combinations, and I was just like, this is it. Like, this is going to be the name for the business. And I was so excited because it looked good, it felt right. And then I met Dynasty, and she felt like the perfect fit because she understands a different side of the business that I really don't understand. I knew that my skill sets and her skill set coming together was going to be just magical, and that we were going to be able to build one of the largest creative consultancies in the world. And I just can feel that in my bones. It was so important for me to make it concrete because the Rikki Lee agency was concrete for me, but I had never put it down on paper. And for this business, I put it down on paper. I feel like investing in yourself is like saying, I see you, I love you, I celebrate you, and I commend your gifts. I celebrate your gifts. And I think a lot of times we put so much effort into building out a plan B because we don't feel like our plan A is enough. But I've just been feeling an overwhelming sense of validation and confirmation from God that I am taking the strides I need to be taking, because even when I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet or how I'm going to get through the very next step, He supplies me with just what I need. And so that's what's been encouraging me to keep going down this entrepreneurial path and pursuing my dreams, because every single time I've planted a seed and I've watered it and I've tended my garden, God has made the most beautiful things blossom that not only nourish me, but nourish thousands of other people around the world. And that is what it's about. When your source is just right, when your source is God, when your source is love, it's like nothing but good things can overflow, and nothing but an abundance of blessings can come to you, because God knows that you're going to use the tools and the resources that He gives you wisely. While a lot of what I've been doing has been out of my comfort zone, it's been necessary because it's expanded me in ways I didn't know that I necessarily wanted or needed to be expanded, but it's making me grow and take chances and say, you know what, God, you didn't give me these gifts just to sit idle and watch someone else go out there and live the dreams that I've been dreaming my entire life.
It has been a relatively fast start to the week. As you guys saw, I was like making my matcha because I'm so tired while I was sitting at my desk, but today is going to be a little bit of a jam-packed day. I started to reorganize my closet yesterday on Monday because it was a holiday. Today is Tuesday. It's the start of my work week, and today we have not only my internship, but I'm also hosting a creative workshop at Warhol and Wall Street. They're doing a creative activation for teens in the Columbus area, and I'm going to be teaching a course on all things branding, specifically personal branding, and so I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing vision cards with the kids, and they're going to be cutting up some things from magazines and, you know, cutting and pasting and doing all these types of things to really help themselves figure out like what type of personal brand do they want to live throughout the rest of this year and for years to come. I had such a crazy morning that I didn't even put a bra on, but I'm definitely gonna wear this to the workshop. But I'm about to put a bra on and lock in on the rest of this work for like the next hour. I'm gonna let my manager know that I'll be out for a couple of hours. Since I'm hourly, it's not expected for me to be on for 8 hours every day. They want me to sign up for 2 platforms on a free trial so I can do some news coverage for them. But overall, last week was really good. I didn't vlog too much of my work days just because I was really in the weeds trying to learn new stuff, and it was just really intense and a learning curve for me because I don't have a PR background, at least in creating media lists or pitching and all of that. But this has been a wonderful experience, and I will say that a lot of these skills are transferable to what I do as an influencer, because now I understand that I can have a blank pitch that I send to a variety of different people internally within the same publication or company. So that's really cool. And then just figuring out like what's the follow-up, what is it gonna look like. And then for clients, if they want us to do earned media, I now know how to do that. My meeting ended early, but I wanted to show you guys the little whisk that I just bought. I had a different one. This one is much more minimal. I really love how sleek this one looks. It's so cute, and it's electric because the other one that I had required batteries, and y'all, it's 2023. I have power cords all over my house for things that need to be charged. I think every household needs an electric whisk, an electric can opener, and an electric lighter because you can always use that. Now, when there's no electricity, okay, I'm gonna be shit out of luck because I don't have no batteries. But I just like to have stuff that's electric powered because batteries are expensive, and having to buy them constantly to go inside of my remote, inside of this, inside of that, it just becomes a lot. So yeah, but I'll see you guys once I am done with my task. Well guys, I just finished my last meeting of the afternoon before I head out for this little workshop that I'm going to be doing. I'm so excited. I have my deck materials all put together. I do have a bunch of magazines from my photo shoot that I did earlier this year. As you guys can see, we put together this like mood board on my wall, and I'm actually going to grab a bunch of these right now because I want to use these at the workshop for the students to just kind of look through. And there is a huge stack of magazines. So shout out to Parisha for leaving these at my apartment, because I now get to re-gift them to these lovely students and get them to kind of experience the world of marketing and whatnot. But I just had an idea. I'm going to bring my camera, and of course I've got to bring my laptop with me, so I'm just going to pack that up too. But I showed you guys earlier this month, my mom got me a new camera bag for my birthday, so I'm actually going to use it today for the first time, and I'm real excited about it. But it has like a back slot for my laptop, so I'm going to put it back there. This looks so much better than that little ugly camera bag that I used to have before. So I got my camera bag, I got all the magazines. I need to change my shoes. I actually have house shoes. I'm going to line my lips real quick and then be out the door. And then I use my creme brulee. So I'm all dressed and ready to go now. I've got my backpack with my computer and my camera, and got my phone, and yeah, and I got my computer charger. I'm gonna grab my iPhone tripod because I want to do like a little bit of some video on my phone too, because I just like never seem to get any content. So now we are ready to go. So toodles. We are headed to a program today. I'm going to be hosting a workshop at Warhol and Wall Street. It's downtown in Cincinnati. It's a program that is for youth that are interested in the creative field. I'm very excited. I asked God at the beginning of this year to bless me with more opportunities to speak and give back and do like mentorship, and I'm very excited. Last week I actually onboarded my first ever mentee, which I'm very excited to give to her in all the ways that I know how and best. And now we are headed to this program for me to teach these students about all things branding, specifically personal branding. I'm really excited. I think a lot of them are very passionate about this field, and I actually got to speak with them last summer online when I was in New York City, and I got to just, you know, kind of talk to them about my experience and what that has been like as someone who works in the creative field and someone who started my own agency at a very young age. And so for them to actually get to meet me in person this year is really exciting. And so fingers crossed everything goes super well. We're going to be doing a really fun activity today with the students so they can start envisioning their personal branding for themselves now. The younger you start, the easier it becomes to, you know, be the person that you've always wanted to be when you plant that seed now. So I'm really excited to be doing this program, so I'll see you guys once we get there. So how do these statements make you guys feel? Does it make you feel like you're more in tune with being able to start creating your content? Do you feel like you're more aligned? Let me know.
Feels like a personal promise.
I'm gonna start calling it that now. This is your personal promise. Yeah, copyrighted.
Well, teaching all things influence the first time back in April, and that is in one of my vlogs. That was magical. I had always dreamt of educating other women on how to break into influencing because it's a huge thing and it's paying my bills. It's financially liberated me. I was so proud of myself because I got up there in front of these women, 35 women who signed up for the cohort, and I taught them about all things influence. And it was such a magical experience. And to then be able to translate that curriculum into all things branding and teach youth how to brand themselves and be able to create personal promises and discuss things like, you know, how do I want to show up? How do I make people feel when they're around me? What do I do? What are my gifts? A lot of these things aren't brought up to youth in their homes. Sometimes kids don't have, you know, parents or peers who pour into the creative parts of their beings. And so I wanted it to be a safe space where these kids could explore the different ways that their gifts make people feel and how they intend to do that. And it was one of the kids was like, oh, it felt like a personal promise. And I'm like, that is exactly what it is. I needed that as a kid. And I had that. I had my mother. Everything that I teach now were learnings that I took from my mother. She always told me to be in tune with how I felt about things. She always reminded me that, you know, people may never remember how you smelled or, you know, what you had on, but they're always going to remember how you made them feel. And she always made sure that I was in tune with how things made me feel. She would always encourage me to weigh the pros and the cons and consider how either outcome would make me feel. And that is how I birthed things like the life audit, you know, telling people, I want you to sit and I want you to think about how does all of the different things that you're involved in your life make you feel? Do they bring you joy? Do they bring you pain? Do they bring you growth? And that's an exercise that I did all the time with my mother. And I love her so much because she instilled so many beautiful things in me that our toolkit, she gave me so many tools that are in my toolkit that I now get to lend out to so many other students when I meet them, and I teach them these mechanisms so that they can navigate this world with healthy habits. They can say, okay, the weight of the world is on my shoulders right now. I'm feeling overwhelmed. What do I need to do? I need to take an audit of what's going on in my life right now and figure out where I can make some changes. So yeah, I think working with the youth brings me so much joy. I was a kid that loved a lot of things, but like I said, I was scared to put deep footprints in the sand. So I always teetered on the line of mediocrity. And it wasn't because I didn't feel like I could be exceptional. It was because I was afraid to be exceptional.
Good afternoon, y'all. Today's Thursday. Yesterday was a regular work day. It was nothing truly special. I continued cleaning out my closet, and I've been sharing that project very intimately on my TikTok, so make sure to follow me on TikTok if you want to see my closet transformation with JCPenney. But today we are headed to Chrome Edge Studios because this is part 2 of the All Things Branding workshop. Today the kids are going to be getting their headshots taken, and I'm going to be helping with the creative direction of these headshots because, as you guys know, I'm kind of like the headshot girl. I'm constantly talking about taking group headshots or taking my own headshots and rebranding and all this stuff. So I'm going to be there just advising them on different ways they can pose, different props and stuff that they could possibly use just to really capture who they are as creatives. On Tuesday, I got to know them a little bit, and some of them are interested in going into marketing like myself. Some of them are interested in being like animators. Some of them are interested in being freelancers or photographers, and all of those take having exceptional personal branding that aligns with the type of work that you produce, right? So I'm really gonna help them hone in on that. On Tuesday, we did a really deep exercise on like, what is their personal promise, which is an exercise that we did in the All Things Influence workshop. And so once they created those, they then were tasked with going through magazines and cutting things out and creating vision cards for themselves that they can revert to at any point as just a reminder of who they are, who they want to be, who they want to show up as all the time. And so I was very excited. They really loved the activity and they found it to be very helpful. and they thought that it helped them and it made them feel more confident about where they're going, and it was just a really dope exercise. So I'm really excited about that is being received well by them. Today started off really fast, like got up right in the morning, and do not recommend this. Like I need to get back into my flow of waking up really early, but I've been staying up really late these days because I've been trying to finish my closet before I go to Chicago this weekend. But typically I will wake up earlier in the morning so I can do some things for myself before logging on to work. But this morning I just logged straight on to work, started looking for things, started looking for media coverage and keeping track of things inside of documents. And I know, like, one thing that I've been trying to get over is during the initial onboarding, right? They show you their processes on how they do things. But I think it's always important to keep in mind, how would you do it had you not been given instructions, right? How would it make sense for you to do it? Because sometimes, not to badmouth any company that I've worked with before, but like sometimes the processes that they have in place are much more difficult than they have to be, or like people do things in such a way that you personally probably know of 10 other ways that you could do it that's much easier. And so if you want to be more effective and efficient, by all means, take the creative control to do it your way through the process, and just make sure at the end deliverable looks like what they've always done. Does that make sense? Because I think for me, sometimes, especially like, let's think about math, right? I was never good at math because there's an exact way that they want you to do it. And if it doesn't make sense to me, then it just doesn't make sense. And that's why I'm such a creative, because although it may not make sense to a lot of people to do it this way, it's faster for me to do it this way. This is the way that I think, and so I'm able to get it done. And at the end of the day, the deliverable will look the same, but I went about it a different way. So for me, they were just kind of like showing me all the ways to search up stuff, and I'm like, well, why don't I just create a cheat sheet for myself with all the things that I need to search every single day, so I'm not manually typing it, because that takes hours. I just made a cheat sheet for myself with all the phrases that I have to input for media coverage. So now all I have to do is copy and paste the phrases and put them into Google, and it'll take me 20 minutes to get through all of that, because now I'm more familiar with the topic, of course, and what they're looking for. But is this going to reroute or what? I missed my turn, guys. But yeah, just like, don't be afraid to think outside of the box and think about ways to make your life easier when it comes to the work, because 9 times out of 10 they've been trying to think of a better way to do it anyway. This is the face of somebody that is tired.